Welcome back to episode 21. Tonight on the Invention Laboratory, we discuss the best investment strategies for inventors and entrepreneurs. The greatest investment strategy that you can make as an inventor or an entrepreneur is in yourself. Trying to justify where your hard-earned money goes each year can seem like an insurmountable task. 401k, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, college funds, real estate, those are usually the options that come to mind when you're considering the best use of your resources. Although these are all great options, none of them will matter if you don't continue to, or for most people, start investing in yourself. I always use the analogy of getting your oil changed. You can buy the newest model car, pay extra for luxury packages, you can buy the best insurance available, but if you don't change the oil, it'll still end up in the junkyard next to the '87 Honda Accord. It can be extremely difficult to justify spending money on yourself when there's so many other options and so many companies vying for the opportunity to take that cash from you. They have teams of people that spend countless hours on marketing, advertising, and their only objective is to acquire your attention and then eventually your resources. So with all the sharks in the water, how do you determine what's actually important to you and what's merely the result of constant advertising and marketing messages? That's really going to be for you to decide. But what I can do is share with you 10 things that I've invested in that have paid off in spades in the long run. So go ahead and grab a pen and let's get started. Investment number 1, be a lifelong student. A continuous learning process will lead to strong mental well-being and better overall family health. Creating the best version of yourself can lead to being a positive role model, a more reliable family member, a more competent colleague, a detail-oriented coworker, or a valued employee. Education over time can take many shapes, and you're going to be the only person that can determine how you learn best. If you're a hands-on learner and you love cars, pop into a body shop and offer to help out for free for a few hours in exchange for a lesson on swapping out an oil filter. If you're a visual learner, places like YouTube or Skillshare are valuable resources. If you're more of an analytical learner and you not only need the knowledge of how something works, but why, books are still going to be the gold standard. Some of us can stay focused long enough to sit down with a cup of coffee and some scratch paper and a book. Others are running their business from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. and they barely have time to breathe, but they still want that information. Places like audible.com are an excellent resource that allows you to take a book on the go. You can use it in your car, on your cell phone, in your hotel room, or even just blast it over the Amazon Echo speaker in the living room while you're making dinner. However you need to learn, just make it happen. Investment number 2, take care of your body. Admittedly, this has been the most difficult for me to maintain because it's the most resilient resource at our disposal. There's actually a quote from a movie called SWAT that says, "Some folks treat their bodies like a temple. I treat mine like an amusement park." The older you are, the more important this investment becomes. You don't want the ride to break down halfway through the corkscrew. Taking care of your body also has a tremendous effect on your mental health. Now, I have no intention of writing out a workout split or food regimen because I'm not the best example. And even if I were, everyone responds differently to workout systems and food programs. What I can do is give you a few of the tools that have been helpful when investing in my body. Start off by visiting your primary care physician and ask them to do a blood panel. This will be the benchmark for your health, and I'd have them repeat that every 6 months and then yearly until you see the results that you want to see. When you're looking for a place to track your food and exercise, I can suggest an app like MyFitnessPal. Another tool is an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. These devices will also transmit real-time data to MyFitnessPal or an app of your choice. Closing your rings or knowing that you've hit your step goals for the day can keep your confidence high when you feel bad for not getting to the gym or out for that walk. Unlike most people that give this sort of advice, I'd push for you to hide or pitch your scale. It's a crutch and it's a huge motivation killer. If you base your success on those numbers, you will fail every single time. Scales don't show accurate body fat percentages or changes in mood. They also don't show a change in your complexion because your diet got better, or recognition that you're now more regular, which is doing wonders for your body. You only get one body, and the worst thing you can do is wait until it starts to fail. Look, I don't care if your 30-minute walk ends at the ice cream shop 3 out of the 5 days of the week. Just commit to small, attainable goals, and over time, your body, your mind, and your family will thank you for it. Investment number 3, take care of your mind. As inventors, this is your most valuable asset. Clarity is something that people strive for and find in different activities. Some people find it on the mountaintops in Switzerland, and others find it in the garden in their backyard. Meditation, prayer, escapism, connecting with nature, walking your dog. You can find inner peace, tranquility, and clarity in any of these activities. For me, it's fishing. It's something that I did with my father as a kid and what I miss the most about our time together. He passed away when I was 17. I bring a comfortable chair, grab the same bait that I had as a kid, even if something else would lure a better catch. I toss my line in the water, and I sit there with my dad on the bank of the lake. It doesn't matter what's going on in life, I'm always able to find peace there. That place of clarity is a place that you can go when life is stressful or pulling you in 1,000 different directions. It can be a physical place or a mental place, but the overall effect is the same. Investment number 4, professional networking. Working on yourself is not a solo adventure. In fact, community and connectedness is just as important as therapy or self-care. This is especially true in the workplace. It's a little easier if you work for a large company or you spend your days with hundreds of other employees that are working toward the greater good of the collective. It's a completely different ballgame when you're self-employed, own your own business, or you operate as a consultant or a salesperson. The isolation of this work environment can eat you alive if you let it. Professional networking is an excellent way to not only meet new people, but spend time around individuals that have similar goals and they understand what it takes to manipulate all the moving parts of a company. When you're juggling the roles of salesperson, accountant, content creator, marketing department, and advertising executive, you're bound to drop a few balls. When you work alone, all of the blame falls on you, and unless you have a core group of folks to connect with when this happens, it can seem like the end of the world. On the opposite side of that coin, when you succeed and you land that new contract, or you fill that order, or you gain 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and your video goes viral, you want to celebrate that with someone that actually understands how difficult it was to reach that goal and the weight that it carries in your industry. Being an entrepreneur is a thankless and undervalued job until you gain people's attention. To connect with folks and celebrate your small wins along the way, you have to network. You can start networking by checking out entrepreneur groups in your area. There are more of those than you think. You can also attend conferences. There are thousands of conferences every year related to almost every topic: sales, marketing, advertising, beekeeping. Beekeeping. There's a niche for everyone. Spending time with these like-minded people will help you grow and also maintain balance when you struggle. I personally do a lot of reselling in the wholesale and liquidation industry, so I attend eBay Open each year. And I meet other sellers and wholesale distributors and employees on the eBay platform. It's just a few days of learning, networking, and a little bit of letting loose with fellow sellers, and it makes you feel like part of that larger organization. My wife actually takes the trip with me, and we add a few additional days to visit her best friend and their kids in Las Vegas. Another option is Facebook groups. There's hundreds of them to choose from. If you need to be surrounded by folks who talk about nothing but Ninja Turtles all day, you can do that. How about something more specific? Let's say your blog focuses on the original Ninja Turtle series and toys, and you have a ton of questions and you'd like to show off your collection. You type original Ninja Turtle series into Facebook, and then all of a sudden you're connected with nearly 10,000 people who share the same exact interests as you. Networking is crucial, and if you can't seem to make it to an actual event, the social media option is a great way to create and develop relationships. Online friendships and relationships are no longer a taboo topic in society. $1 million marketing and branding deals have been conducted over a tweet. You can certainly acquire a few colleagues and maybe even cultivate some friendships along the way. Investment strategy number 5, time management. Every blog has an article about it. Every university has a class on it. Every company conducts a quarterly meeting for it. And in the end, the same thing happens: nothing. These well thought out, deliberate, and thought provoking arguments produce nothing. Why? There's no call to action. There's no blueprint to follow because everyone's schedule is different. Google Calendars are great if you're trying to keep your life in order with the resource space of a 140-character tweet. Unfortunately, the real world doesn't work that way, and when you start mixing business and personal calendars with your family and church calendar, it's a nightmare. You need only one tool for this. It's called Trello, Trello. I'm not sponsored by them, I just really enjoy the service. Now, before we get all up in arms about app options for your phone, understand that I've tested 5 different time management tools. I've even paid for some of them. Trello is not only free, but it solves all of those time management issues. Now, I'm not going to lie. Trying to shove your entire life into one spot is a daunting task, but if you don't do it, none of those strategies for standard time management that you've learned over the years will matter. Trello is a simple tool that allows you to categorize every aspect of your life and tuck it away until you're ready to tackle it. I personally never want to see dinner with friends next to write scathing email to half-assed manufacturer in Georgia. Now that I've made that transition to Trello, the only thing that's on my Google Calendar are those 140-character things: doctor's appointments, dinner with wife, meetings with clients, etc. The next investment up on the list, investment number 6, travel. Whether it's a 30-minute drive or an 18-hour flight, please travel. Decompressing and seeing what the world has to offer can be a catalyst for goal setting. Having drive and a clear vision can be the difference between you landing the sponsorship deal of a lifetime or trudging through your day under-caffeinated and not introducing yourself to that lady or gentleman in the elevator on the way to your 9 a.m. You can also find inspiration for your home life in your travels as well. For example, I had no idea how much I needed an outdoor shower until my wife and I stayed at a tiny house Airbnb in Maryland. Recently in Mexico, our room had a beautiful 4-post bed. We've been trying to find a headboard for the last 5 years. 10 seconds into our trip, we realized the type of atmosphere we wanted in our bedroom for the next 10 years. Travel also gives you an appreciation for the things that you already have. Gratitude is a feeling that people neglect. Sure, everyone posts or says that they're grateful for a few things a few times a year, but to truly live with gratitude in your heart is a rare and valuable commodity. When you're grateful for what you have the opportunity to give unselfishly to your favorite charity, family member, or even a friend that may need you. Food-wise, expanding your flavor palette is also a great benefit to travel. What you think of as Mexican, Italian, German, or Irish cuisine or cocktails takes on a whole new level of complexity when you remove its Americanized roots. Food and booze made with less or no corn syrup, going to the market and seeing eggs sitting on a shelf as shelf stable in England, or drinking room temperature beer at a pub in Germany. Some of those experiences will be better, and others will be worse, but the important thing is to experience it for yourself and determine what you really enjoy. Investment number 7, purchase a new wardrobe. Being materialistic is not the point of this action. Investing in your appearance and the way you view yourself is essential to developing your personality and identity. This also allows you the ability to separate your identity from your role. In the workplace, you're playing many roles. As employee, coworker, leader. At home, you play the roles of father, mother, friend, neighbor. Each of those roles can be represented in your wardrobe. You may work a job that requires a suit daily for business meetings. Or you may work from home and very rarely make it out of your PJs unless it's 100% necessary. Only you can determine what your needs are. That being said, the way your clothes make you feel plays a huge part in how others view you. Your attitude is easily manipulated by what you see in the mirror every day. Here's a couple of ways to purge your closet of negative energy and replace it with some positive energy. Start by throwing away or donating anything that doesn't fit. Keeping clothes that you believe may fit again or never fit in the first place is just a constant reminder of failure or a lack of commitment to a diet or change in lifestyle. Being sure that everything has a home in your closet is also helpful. When your closet is organized and all of your belongings have a place, it becomes easier to maintain laundry, replace items as they wear out. Everybody's got that holy shirt from college that they can't seem to get rid of. And also rotate pieces as you buy new clothes. You should also make room for accessories, watches, purses, jewelry, and fragrances. Everyone has their little black dress or favorite cashmere sweater, but accessories and fragrances are personal. Not every woman can wear pearls. Not every guy can sport a 45mm watch. Not every woman loves floral scents. And not every guy desires to smell like a 1950s businessman covered in English leather and Lucky Strike fumes. Personalize everything you keep, and if it doesn't spark joy, as Marie Kondo suggests, kick it to the curb. Next, let's chat about brand loyalty. Now, I know I mentioned not caving to the pressures of advertising, and I do mean that. The reason I suggest brand loyalty is that shopping gets much easier when you find a brand that fits really well. This can apply to everything from underwear to a specific cut of dress shirt. The first time I discovered the comfort of a blended cotton and spandex t-shirt, I systematically pitched every undershirt that I had in my wardrobe and replaced it over the next 3 months. I stopped buying the big multi-packs of 8 because they were cheap. My undershirts are now $12.99 a piece, and they're worth every penny. And don't even get me started on socks. If I ever win the lottery, the only luxury I would request is new socks fresh out of the package every day for the rest of my life. And last but certainly not least, pay up for your denim. Jeans are the most commonly worn clothing item, and they're also the hardest thing to get right in a wardrobe. There are dozens of styles, washes, cuts, and let's not forget the worst part, size. Every brand seems to have a different standard for size and material, and not all brands are created equal. You can buy the same size at 6 different stores and they will all fit differently. To keep a very long story short, when you find a brand, size, and cut that makes you feel like a rock star, buy them. Buy them all. Multiple washes in the same style. And here's a bonus tip for the ladies as well. This tip also applies to bras. Bra shopping is the worst for both men and women. There's nothing worse than watching your beautiful wife or girlfriend blame themselves because something doesn't fit well. Ladies, it's not you. Every single store size and style is different. Put yourself through the pain of finding the perfect bra size once. And 3 months later, it's going to be different. So just like jeans, buy them all. Investment strategy number 8, prioritize your me time. If I've heard one complaint more than any other, it's that they don't have time to spend on themselves. Family first, grind and hustle hard, all work, no play, whatever cliche you want to go with. A good friend of ours recently shared their newest mantra, and it really stuck with me. There is enough time. It's pretty simple, right? No matter what you have going on, there is enough time. What you choose to do with that time is completely up to you and the way that you recharge your batteries. You know those things that people treat themselves to? The nail salon, the barber shop for a straight razor shave, a massage. If you're a fan of the TV show Suits, apparently mudding is a thing. Whatever you do to unwind in a physical way, do it. For some people, the gym is the best arena. CrossFit enthusiasts swear by the program. This is also an excellent way to incorporate your hobbies. Crafting, sewing, model building, movies, writing a blog, even cooking. Prioritizing my me time is why this podcast even exists. My entire business was started by pursuing a hobby of selling old and collectible video games, and at first it was pocket cash, and then it started to pay my mortgage. You never know what you can accomplish until you realize that being selfish is not only okay, it's necessary for growth. Moving on to investment number 9, cultivate, maintain, and grow your relationships. The relationships that you have with your family and friends are all that will matter at the end of the day. If you have no one to share your experiences with, the victories are a little less sweet and the defeats are catastrophic. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be in a relationship to have your life have meaning. I'm saying that the relationships that you have with everyone in your life is the beacon of your existence. Community and fellowship are essential for growth. These days, a bachelor's degree is the equivalent of a high school diploma years ago. It's a glorified work permit. That was a really hard pill for me to swallow as somebody with an MBA. Every opportunity that I've had in my life has been due to the people that I've known and the relationships that I've maintained over the years. I spent $120,000 on my education, and though I do use what I've learned to run my business, I didn't need any of it. On a personal level, if you're married or in a relationship with a significant other, be sure to make them your first priority after you've rejuvenated yourself and built equity into your mental and physical well-being. Remember, you're useless to those around you unless you have your priorities in order and you're in a good position to be a positive force in their lives. They're fighting the same battles that you are, as well as tackling some that you may not even know about. If you have a hard time processing these steps and you need a few extra tools in your belt to handle any of those negative or difficult topics in your life, you may want to find a therapist. Ooh, did you feel that? Yeah, I know. I know for some of you that seems like a bad word. I only know that because my family put such a stigma on therapy that I waited until I was 33 years old to talk to anyone. Did I mention that I'm a product of a drug-riddled, divorce-positive, suicide-enduring, and loving household? My mom had a heart attack in my arms at 13, and my father committed suicide when I was 17. You want to talk about a strong tool to have in your tool belt? There is nothing, I repeat, nothing that comes even close to having a therapist at your disposal. Just a quick PSA, if you're one of our strong and silent soldiers of the United States military, thank you for your service, and this one's for you. We've lost so many people to the effects of PTSD. Let's break the cycle. And finally, investment number 10. Create multiple streams of income. This current economic climate throws daily curveballs, and if I've learned anything over the last 10 years, it's diversification. If you died tomorrow, your job would be posted online before your obituary. Putting all of your eggs into one basket is a fool's game. This is the part where I get to incorporate the financial side of investing in yourself. Now, I'm not going to speak about whole life policies and index funds through Vanguard, etc. I just want to cover the basics. Term life insurance, an emergency fund, a nest egg, and liquidity. Term life insurance, to put it bluntly, is just making sure that your family has enough cash to pay for your funeral expenses and your final wishes. An emergency fund is $1,000 cash kept in your home for any situation. A nest egg is 6 months worth of expenses socked away in your savings account that will cover all of your expenses in case of job loss. And finally, liquidity. How much cash do you have access to at the drop of a hat? Have you ever tried to go to the bank and withdraw $10,000 or $20,000? How about $100,000? Getting that much cash requires paperwork, approvals, and waiting periods. Last time I checked, that's your money, right? What people don't realize is when you make a deposit into your bank of even $100, they lend that amount out 9 times. Now, don't go stuffing your mattresses and hiding cash in the floorboards. The FDIC protects your deposits, but you need to be as liquid as possible and generate as many different cash flows as you can. You should always have at least one side hustle. Find ways to make cash off of your hobbies, and then you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. These 10 investment strategies are the foundation of your invention journey. Investing in yourself will be the catalyst to better decision-making, proper relationships, and future success in an industry that has swallowed up and spit out more creators than I can count. Do your best to not become a statistic in any area of your life. Thanks for tuning in to episode 21, and as always, reach out to me with any questions you'd like to have answered in future episodes. Until next time, take care.